Hey, it's Steph. Thanks for watching today's video. I have something a little different. I usually do a lot of panning content and like palette bingos, creating looks, but I just wanted to sit down and talk about some regrets. I usually keep my channel pretty positive, and this is still going to be a positive video, but I've had this video idea sitting in my brain for a long time. I'm pretty sure my friend Eden suggested this to me either in a message on Instagram or a comment on a video, because I've mentioned like some regrets in like passing during my videos, and I'm pretty sure Eden was like, you should do a regrets video, and I'm like, yes, I totally should. So I've been putting it off, just focusing on panning, but I want to get into some more like general content, and I hope you guys are here for it. I don't have a super long list, but I do have some things that I really wish I did not declutter. But before we get into that, if you're not subscribed, I hope you do so before you leave. Like I said, I do mainly panning videos, which means I'm actively working through my collection of makeup and beauty items. I am on my second no buy year in a row, so you'll find content on my channel that kind of helps me with that, helps me use my collection in different ways. And if that sounds good, please subscribe, and of course give this video a thumbs up if you enjoy. I'm filming this on the first day of summer, and it is raining outside. If that doesn't say Pacific Northwest summer, I don't know what does. Actually, we have gorgeous summers here, and it's because of all the rain that we get throughout the year. Like, everything is so green and lush and beautiful. But anyway, I'm all cozy because it's raining. Full glam in a sweater in June. So like I said, I don't have too many things to mention, but I thought I would reflect. I sat down and kind of wrote a few things down on my phone, so I will be looking at that. I don't declutter like a ton. Most of the time my declutters are kind of organic. You don't see like big declutter videos on my channel because I don't really do big declutters very often. Usually it's when I'm using something quite a few times, getting to know it and kind of seeing, if it works for me or not, then I will offer it to, my friends or my mom or my sisters. And then if nobody wants it, I'll probably just keep it. Yeah, I don't really do big declutters, but there were two big life events in my past that did kind of not like make me declutter, but it really had me look at my collection and see what could go. And there are some things that I got rid of that I don't regret at all. Like, I don't miss them, but I do miss a couple of things. So the first big life event that had me declutter some things was actually moving into this house. My husband and I bought this home. This is my grandparents' home. Why did you guys hear me choke up? Okay, this is my grandparents' home. I grew up coming here throughout my childhood. Why am I emotional? Okay. This is not a sad video. And so when we moved in here in 2020, yes, we purchased it during the pandemic. I had to downsize. I was moving all of my makeup into our master bathroom, and it had like not very great storage. So actually my sister and my niece were over helping me like unpack my whole bathroom and all of my makeup, and my niece was there. She was just starting to get into makeup, and I just like impulsively gave her a ton of makeup, like half of what I had probably, and I wish I had been tracking back then. I do now have spreadsheets. I think it's from 2021 on, that of like what I had in my collections, but I didn't have, so half the things I don't even remember that I decluttered, but there are two things that are still in the back of my mind that I wish I could get back. Especially because my niece, like, as she's gotten older, she's a senior in high school now, she doesn't even wear makeup. Like, she decided it wasn't for her. She just wants to, you know, have her natural beauty shine, and she doesn't even have these items anymore. And I wish she had just given them back to me. But that's besides the point. So the first thing is the iconic, well, maybe not iconic. If you watched her channel, it might be iconic to you, but it is the Physicians Formula set in collaboration with Casey Holmes. So I loved watching Casey Holmes. She's not really my type of content anymore. I actually follow her Instagram on my personal Instagram. I have two different accounts, and I follow her on my personal Instagram because she's more like lifestyle now. She has kids, and I have my toddler, and just things like that. So, but she did this set, and it had like the bronzer, it had, I think it had a highlighter, it had a perfume that smelled really good. I guess I did open it if I know how it smelled, but it was still in the box. Like, I had not used it. I probably just smelled it. It was brand new. Like, I had never used it, and I gave it to my niece, and I still think about that thing. I don't know why I think about it. I'm sure everything in there were the wrong tones for me anyway, because like Casey is very like warm and loves being bronze and everything. And if you guys know me, which I don't really represent it today. I'm very neutral today, but I love my cool tones. I am a cool toned girly, so I feel like that set probably wouldn't even fit my preferences now. But I just like, why did I give that whole thing away? Okay, that's kind of an honorable mention because I don't think it would fit my preferences now, but I think about that thing. And then the second thing that I distinctly remember was one of those Tarte blush like holiday sets. It was the one in the sequin like clutch purse thing. Let me see, 1, 2. I think it had like 5 blushes in it. I had not used that. I had impulsively bought it, of course, that's the story of my life. I had bought that thing, when did we move in here? It was August, so I probably bought it like that holiday season right before, like in December of 2019 probably. And I just gave it to her. you know how expensive that thing probably was? And all the beautiful blushes, I could have been panning it this whole time. Like, I just think about, you know, pan that palette or you're hitting pans and all these blushes, and I just feel like I could have really gotten a ton of use out of that palette. I love the Amazonian clay formula. I really do. Yeah, I really wish I had not given her the palette. But those are the only 2 things that I kind of regret giving away in that like big, impulsive, life-changing declutter. And then the second life event that had me declutter some things was when I got pregnant. And this was in, when was this? 2023. When did I get pregnant? July, oh my gosh, January 2023 is when I got pregnant. And I was very sick the first half, I would say, maybe like the first third of my pregnancy. And yeah, I was very sick. And so my mind was kind of like, I'm not using this makeup. I don't know how my life will look like after I have a baby, like my lifestyle, if I'm even gonna want to wear makeup. Like, my mind was kind of in the, like, on the end of like, I'm probably not gonna have time to do makeup with a baby. And surprisingly, like, I wore makeup almost every day postpartum, which is just crazy to think about, like the difference in reality and how you expect things to go. But that's not the point of this video. But also, we had a spare bedroom that we had to turn into the nursery for the baby. And like, obviously my first story was I was storing my makeup in my master bathroom, but over time we had turned our like extra bedroom into kind of my filming area, extra storage where I stored all of my like art supplies, all of my makeup lived in there. I kind of had my own little beauty space, and it was very, very special room for me. But I had to take all of that stuff out, had to get rid of a ton of not only makeup stuff, but like just beautiful things that I had kept over the years that were sitting in boxes that really didn't need to be sitting in boxes. But there's a theme in my life. I collect things. I'm a recovering collector. Anyway, so yeah, I had to get rid of a lot of my makeup, and I mean, it was kind of impulsive. Like, I did not film it. I was just sat down one day and just got rid of stuff. And if you own any of these, Tina, I'm not saying I want these back. Like, you enjoy them, you love them. I'm so happy that you have them, but I kind of wish I didn't get rid of them. So the first one, I'm just going to do an honorable mention because I actually own this palette because someone else decluttered theirs to me after I decluttered mine. So the first palette is the Kidos Lunar Lavender palette, and this was decluttered out of my collection. I had not used it at all. This was a palette that I just looked at for a long time, and I got it, but I never used it. So I was like, just get rid of it. Just get rid of it. And I gave it to Tina. And she was so happy with it. So I'm so glad that I was able to like bless her and give that to her. But I missed it so much. And then Laura, my friend Laura Force, she had decluttered a couple of palettes to me, and that was one of them. So I was very happy to get it back. And I inherited a pan in that palette from Laura, so it was kind of like a double whammy. So that's just an honorable mention. I did regret decluttering it, but I own it again, so that's nice. And then okay, so the next two things I also gave to Tina. Again, Tina, keep them. I love that you have them. They're beautiful palettes. The first one is my Sigma collaboration with Cinderella. I think in my head, I was like, oh, it has like 2 warm tones. I don't need this palette. Well, you know, okay, Cinderella is like my top 3 Disney princesses. I love Cinderella, so the theming really got me with that palette. But also, like, when I look at it, I see pictures of it on social media. Of course, it's always so tempting to see things online, but whenever I see that palette online, I'm like, why did I get rid of that? It's so beautiful. All those beautiful cool tones. It's really muted, like, if you look at it compared to other things. I mean, there's some deeper shades in there that I probably wouldn't use on a regular basis, but I feel like I really have found how to use those types of shades on me. I really love doing like a colorful wing, eyeshadow wing with those types of shades, and I wish I had it again. It's just so pretty. But it's not something that I would go and spend my money on again. You know what I mean? Like, I spent the money on it in the first place, and I was at a point in my life where I didn't feel like I needed it, but like, and I don't need it. We don't need makeup. It's just so beautiful. And it's fun, and it's a hobby, and it's an outlet, and all the things, all of the things. So the third palette that I gave to my makeup bestie Tina is my Huda Beauty Mercury Retrograde. And this is kind of like a half regret, like, or a 2/3 regret. 2/3 of that palette is just beautiful, gorgeous. I would love to have that palette again. And then the other third is like fantasy self shades, and those fantasy self shades are what had me decide to get rid of it. Those like bright blues and purples. And no, I would not wear those shades on an everyday basis, but like I said, I could easily do like a little wing glowing action. Again, every time I see it on social media, I'm like, oh, that palette's so pretty. Why did I get rid of that? Like, etc., etc. And you know, I don't have any Huda Beauty palettes in my collection. They're all just so beautiful, like the icy nudes, the rose quartz, which I have the coastal palette from Alter Ego, which is a dupe, so I really don't need that palette. But I don't know, I just, the format, the packaging, the everything, it's just so beautiful. Yes. And then the very last palette that I was gonna say all of these are palettes, but the first two were not. My last makeup declutter regret is the Fantasy Cosmetica Rogue palette. This is a gorgeous palette, and the formula is stunning. I hear people say that this is their favorite indie or in general eyeshadow formula. And I did one look with this palette and decided to declutter it because I felt like it was just too deep for my preferences. Definitely a fantasy self, which is ironic, Fantasy Cosmetica. I definitely would not wear it all the time. The look that I created was very bold, very out there, like something I probably wouldn't wear in everyday life. Like I would wear this probably. Yeah, I would wear this. But I get a little self-conscious if people look at me when I'm wearing bright, colorful makeup. That's just me. But of course, when other people are wearing it, I'm like, oh my gosh, your eyeshadow looks gorgeous today. You know, it's just a personal thing. But yeah, I decluttered that to my friend on Instagram, Alea. I think that's how you say her name. Hello, Alea. And she, of course, she got a few palettes from me, a few indie palettes from me, and I don't regret the other ones, but I don't know, that Fantasy Cosmetica Rogue palette is just so beautiful, and I see looks with it, I'm like, I could have kept it, but I honestly do think I have similar shades in my collection in other palettes, so I really didn't need to keep it. I kind of miss it a little bit, and that's how I feel about the rest of these items. So I hope this video was kind of entertaining, kind of fun. I don't need more makeup. I do not need more makeup. I have so many beautiful things that I am using, but it's just fun to kind of reflect on maybe mistakes that I've made getting rid of some things. So give this video a thumbs up if you thought it was interesting, and of course subscribe if you are not already. I hope to see you all in my next one. Bye.